Hi, it's Mark out here with you at the Gun Rage on yet another video in the video series on legal considerations in a self-defense shooting and becoming hard to convict should a prosecutor decide to run away with something that they think you've done in a self-defense shooting. We want to become hard to convict. Things that we should keep in our mind. Now, understand, once again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a gun owner just like you. I carry a gun just like many of you. And I've studied this for the last 18 years that I've been carrying guns, reviewing guns, doing all kinds of training. I've studied this and watched it and seen the results of people not keeping in their mind the important things that attorney after attorney keeps telling us. This is what will be considered in a self-defense shooting should you be charged with a crime. What I'm talking to you about here in this video is an imminent threat. An imminent threat meaning that the threat is right now. It can't be a perceived threat. If you're going to draw your gun, pull it out and fire it, or even if you're going to just reach for it. if you're going to reach for your gun, grab a hold of it where somebody sees it. That can be considered assault if the threat is not imminent. So imminent means it's happening right now. It's right in front of you. It's right here. The threat is immediate. You can't wait. You can't do anything besides draw your gun. An imminent threat happening right now. How imminent is the threat? How imminent is the threat from this person right here to me? What's his proximity? Where is he? What has he said to me? What is he doing as he says these things? How far is he away from me? Is the threat to my life, to my family's life, imminent? Or is it possibly perceived where I need to step back and wait? Now, I understand all of you will say, you wait too long, it's going to cost you your life. I understand all of these things. All of these things are in the consideration. You know I can't cover all those. What I'm covering in these videos is how to become hard to convict. You have to take everything else into consideration. Your life and well-being, the first of those, and the life of your family and well-being also. You have to take those into consideration first. We all do. That's the reason we have to have these kind of discussions. But being sure that in our mind we know and can identify an imminent threat as opposed to a perceived threat or a possible threat. Because here's the deal. You shoot at somebody, injure, kill somebody, or even draw your gun on somebody for a threat that is not imminent. And it's very likely you will be charged with a crime and prosecuted. Can a good attorney get you off? Possibly. Could something that you did in that scenario be used against you in court? Everything can be used against you in court. So keeping these things in mind is what's really important for all of us, because as we draw our guns, we don't need to be thinking through a list of things that could happen, that we should be doing, that we shouldn't be doing. We need to know exactly what's going on when we pull that gun out. And in all of this, we need to know that our gun is not necessarily always going to be the perfect form of self-defense. Staying strong, staying fit, doing resistance exercise and cardiovascular exercise and keeping yourself as fit as you can, keeping yourself as strong as you can, martial arts, all these things can be helpful in helping you make decisions about what you need to do in any given scenario where self-defense may be needed, but where drawing your gun should be the last resort. Because when you do that, it becomes deadly under any conditions. This is about prosecution. You have to first consider your life and your well-being, the life of your family, and their well-being first. But these are things to keep in our minds so that we know that if I draw my gun, I know exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. And then when I put that gun back, and I have to call 911 to tell them there's been a shooting, that I had to use my weapon in self-defense, and then let them know that I'm not going to say anything else until my lawyer arrives, I need to know that I've covered the bases without having to go through a mental list because I had to draw my gun and use it in self-defense. Is that threat imminent? Two things to consider so far. Innocence. Am I innocent all the way through? Have I caused a confrontation? Have I initiated a confrontation? Have I gone up on somebody in anger? that caused them to do something that then caused me to draw my gun? Am I innocent? Or would a prosecutor look at me and say, you caused this, you started it, and you've already admitted you shot him, and prosecute me? And is the threat imminent? Is it right there? Is it happening right now? Am I in danger right this minute? Is my family in danger right this minute? Are we in danger of our life or great bodily harm right this minute? And if not, we need to back up a bit and hold off and be ready to defend ourselves, but possibly defend ourselves with something less than death from a bullet from our gun. A lot of considerations in all of this. And what we want to do is go through it like this and out on the gun range. And as we think through these things as we draw and practice, so that we're not having to think through it when the real threat comes up and we really have to use our firearms in self-defense. And when we do so, not allowing a prosecutor to say, well, you think you used it in self-defense, we believe you committed a crime, and end up in prison ourselves. Let's do it this way. Go through the list, think through it, know what to do with it, run through the scenarios in your mind, so that when you, if you, God forbid, ever have to pull that gun in self-defense for an imminent threat, that you are innocent of causing any conflict or confrontation, and that when you pull that gun, the threat is imminent, it's right there, it's right now, and when you take action, it is in self-defense, making you hard to convict. I'm Mark. I'll see you in the next video.